Leapfrogging is the ability to leap or jump ahead, and in the realm of global education, it will take leaps and bounds to equalize the gap in education for our youth. Our team selected the theme Dreams because all of the organizations selected are based on dreams they have for the future of the children they serve. In many cases, dreams are focused on career goals, bridging the gap between rich and poor, providing health and parent education, technology programs, and having role models. The hope is in providing them with an equal opportunity so all communities have the chance to succeed in today's workforce and having a stable and enjoyable livelihood in today's world. Our first program under study is based in India. In 1999, Vishal founded the Dream a Dream organization along with 11 others to serve the largest school-aged population in the world. Approximately 160 million of the 460 million young people in India under the age of 18 are living below this international poverty line. Vishal decided to write a paper co-written with Dr. Fiona Kennedy and Dr. David Pearson called the Life Skills Assessment Scale, measuring the life skills of disadvantaged children in the developing world, which was published in the International Journal of Social Behavior and Personality in 2014. From the article, it cited a UNICEF report that found 42% of India's population surviving on less than $1.25 per day. These communities suffer from malnourishment, stunted growth, and failure to thrive. These conditions can prohibit children from a learning environment, having an impact on their attention, their memory, and cognitive processing, and behavioral problems, to name a few. The Dream a Dream organization is looking at these different programs to offer their children in hopes that it will help them learn life skills. There are 2 innovative labs offered in the after-school program, and there's also a Career Connect program offered for ages 14 to 23. You can see some of the programs they offer there in Career Connect. And in life skills, the direct instruction affects over 10,000 students a year with these 2 labs. One is creative art and the other is football or soccer, as we know it. They also train their teachers. Over 8,000 teachers were trained as of 2019, trying to train them with life skills, creative strategies, and safe learning spaces. They're also looking towards changing the ecosystem, looking at 206 business partnerships, working with the state governments, the media, and policymakers to determine how to change the education system as they know it. This is a brief video to tell you more about the program.
There is an urgent need to reimagine the purpose of education. Education must empower children coming from vulnerable backgrounds to overcome adversity and thrive in this fast-changing world.
I think there's a massive urgency in India that half of all children are stunted or failing to thrive. We know when they stop growing, they stop developing.
It's going to take more or less 100 years for young people who are from very poor backgrounds and live in poor countries to catch up.
Nobody has invested in building their self-esteem, building their self-worth, helping them believe that they are worthy of the opportunities that the world and society has to offer them. How can I build in them the life skills to be flexible, to be creative, to innovate, to be entrepreneurial?
We have to fundamentally change the lens we're looking at challenges that young people face.
So for me, this is why life skills, social emotional learning is really important.
So in the Dream a Dream, the impact is that they've gone and served over 3 million different children in these communities. They've introduced a happiness curriculum in the city of Delhi and have served over 800,000 students there. And in 2019, they were named one of the 100 Global Innovators of the Year by the organization 100. Another organization, Youth Fusion, is a program offered in Canada and France. The goal of Youth Fusion is to provide at-risk students with an engaging focus of study to get them through high school and reduce the dropout rate. The Youth Fusion program began with Gabriel Brian Lopez, and he was a graduate. Let me go back to that slide. He was a graduate of communication studies, Concordia University. He began traveling as a guest speaker and speaking to children about how they can improve and be motivated and stay in school. He asked them what they wanted to keep them engaged, and the students said loud and clear they wanted to make a difference, they wanted to be led by someone with expertise, and they wanted just a one-time, one-hour deal. They wanted a commitment. So in response to that, Lopez began to form Youth Fusion, which offers programs in over 13 fields of study. You can see some of the programs of study offered here on this chart. And in the box at the bottom right, those last four are offered specifically to Indigenous cultures of Canada, the Inuit and the First Nation people. This is the model of how Youth Fusion works. Basically, professors work with their students and graduates and train them to become project coordinators and mentors to the youth. And then they provide all of this time on these projects with them over the course of the year. These graduates and volunteers engage anywhere from 10 to 30 hours a week, beginning in September, ending in June. The commitment is about 450 hours of work. The program has reached over 13,000 students in more than 200 schools in rural, urban, and Indigenous environments in Canada and France. And the results were that 62% of the students reported that the program helped them enjoy going to school and develop their own projects. So definitely achieving their goal of reducing dropouts. And more than 60% of them were motivated to succeed and work collaboratively in a team. The final organization I'm going to look at is REAP. REAP is the Rural Education Action Project, which is designed to help the 3 out of every 4 children that grow up in poor rural communities in China. Children in these communities are often left in the care of their grandparents while their mothers migrate to work in urban communities. You can see the director, Scott Roselle, who helped develop this REAP project. It is developed and hosted by Stanford University's department, the Freeman Spogli Institute for International Studies. And within that department is the Center on Food Security and in the Environment. And that is where the REAP program is run through. So how are they achieving this goal? Basically, these children who grow up in these rural sections, they are affected by stunted growth, vision problems, and intestinal worms that can be unnoticed. The health program is intending to address that. They have given vitamins to children. They are training doctors to be more effective. In fact, it was reported, according to REAP, that 80 to 90% of China's rural doctors have no more than a high school diploma, which results in only a 26% accuracy rate in diagnosis, which of course can affect the medications and treatment prescribed. So they have many different health workers coming in to educate parents. The patients, they are training to help assess the program in healthcare. REAP also is looking into the mobile health by texting and providing computers technology to the children in the classroom for virtual learning. The early childhood programs are being addressed. They're trying to come into some of these rural communities, reinforce some nutrition, address the cognitive delays experienced from the stunted growth and malnourishment, and to improve their language skills. In the classroom, they're looking at improving the reading. They found that only less than 5% of children were read to by their parents. So they're looking into reinforcing reading skills. They're training teachers who have been in really poor working conditions, receiving low pay, and are overburdened with additional workloads. And they're trying to provide teacher incentive for them. The vision care, they found that many of the children were experiencing myopia, which is nearsightedness. So they looked into ways to test, discover it, and treat that. They're training surgeons in cataract surgery to help the elderly. And they're finding great results from providing glasses to their people. They also work with policymakers to try to address how can the education programs change in China. The impact of some of the things REAP has provided to date include 100,000 glasses distributed, which out of the students tested who had their nearsightedness addressed, they saw a 14-point increase in student testing scores. They're providing healthy lunches and scholarships. We mentioned the vitamins they distribute. And very important, somewhat more current mission is that they're working with the government to establish these 300,000 more early childhood centers in the rural communities, because as a not-for-profit NGO-based organization, REAP on their own has established 50 early childhood centers in rural communities and some rural in the villages, and it costs anywhere from 70 to 110,000 US dollars to fund just one center. So they definitely need the support of the government. Through a mix of programs, REAP has really been effective in working towards helping China and their next generation.
Our first dreamer is a doer that has made it possible for millions of girls in India to receive the only ticket most of us know to reaching our dreams, a free education. She gets the job done in collaboration with community, government, and technology. Introducing Safina Hussain, CEO of Educate Girls. Their mission to keep girls going to school from 16 to 14. The benefits to health, wealth, and sustainability are nationwide, and help reduce the impact of global warming, as educated women have smaller families, ergo less carbon footprint. A problem you solve once, an educated mother is more than twice likely to educate her own children. The more years a girl remains in school, she delays motherhood and increases the probability of her own survival and that of her nation's. In India, girls can be given names that devalue their existence, and in many rural areas, goats are regarded as an asset while girls is viewed as a liability. Safina's teams work hard to change the deeply held cultural mindsets by going into rural India with a door-to-door approach. Her team use apps and geo-tracking to identify girls that are not in school, and then work with community members to get the families on board and the girls staying in school. The Girls' Education Challenge was launched by the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office in 2012 as a 12-year commitment. According to girlseducationchallenge.org on their About Us page, the Girls' Education Challenge is explained as having been launched in 2012 by the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office as a 12-year commitment to reach the most marginalized girls in the world, and is the largest global fund dedicated to girls' education. The UK is committed to ensuring millions of girls in some of the poorest countries, including girls who have disabilities or are at risk of being left behind, receive a quality education. Through the GEC, they aim to transform over 1 million of the world's most marginalized girls through quality education and learning. Access to a good quality education and learning opportunities will empower these girls. For more information on girls' education, visit girlseducationchallenge.org. In certain African cultures, boys are favored over girls in education, and girls are often removed from school upon reaching puberty to avoid pregnancy. And so, as we have presented thus far, there have been many movements aiming to empower girls and educate them. But what if helping only girls can actually be harmful? The Grandmother Project aims to educate children as well, with a heavy respect for elders as the change agents in non-Western cultures. With FGM, child marriage, and girls' education undervalued, The Grandmother Project wants to help educate girls through elder revisions of harmful traditions. Their research has revealed the underutilized and abundant resource of grandmas to help protect girls through cultural change and strengthening elder communications between all generations. Their research has shown that change through culture has reduced the level of FGM, child marriage, and teen pregnancy as grandmas also receive training to better empower their grandchildren. For more information, visit grandmotherproject.org. Gerry Arias for NJCU. Thanks for watching.
This specific segment of the curriculum is based on geography and the ambitious aspirations that are contained and observed in the selections. This is why this project as a whole has a theme that is termed Dream Big. In my opinion, it is not really the size of the dream that matters, but the determination to have it fulfilled. If we maximize our effort into any initiative, project, and or development, we will have success in it. This is what I observed in the processing of these curriculums. Specifically, the three cases that I had to summarize and analyze are based in Africa. They are number one, Save Your Future Association in rural Cameroon. Number two, Early Inspiration. Number two, Early Inspiration designed for disadvantaged children in South Africa. And finally, Good Work Foundation in rural South Africa. All three of them revolve around children, adults, in a community, but at a different scale. For instance, with Save Your Future, Foundation, it is the community for the people. The leaders of this organization improved the environment for the well-being of its inhabitants. With Early Inspiration, it is the education of the children for the welfare of the community. The leaders of this institution work with the children to empower the community. And for Good Work Foundation, it is digital, technological development of all for the abundance of all. The leaders of this program work with children, adults, and the community equally for the wellness of all. A theme that is common in all three cases is not only dream big, but also effort matters. Save Your Future Association was founded by a Cameroonian man named Farmer Tonto in 2015. Growing up in a far back, deep rural community, determined to stay afloat, he was creative with his surviving techniques. He found his own ways to make and get what he needed. This is how he arrived at the formulation of his philosophies of life. For instance, one of them is, if you don't have what you want, use what you have. In his view, you may not have what you want. Still, do something, be creative, be innovative with what you have. If you don't have what you want, use what you have. In other words, be creative, be innovative, and invent, and you will find that you can impact the world. Also, he believes that it does not matter where you're from, whether you are big or small, you can contribute to long-term sustainability of our planet. According to Farmer Tonto, it does not matter where you come from. You are never too small or insignificant to contribute to the longer term sustainability of our planet. By doing simple things to the best of your ability, you are improving our world, or the world. This is according to Farmer Tonto. So, do the little bit that you can do. Do the little bit that you can do, and you will see some meaningful and positive changes. In other words, be proactive, and changes will work your way. Farmer Tonto had set up that great organization that has centered on education, construction, and protection. His objectives have been to promote education, to build communities, and to protect the environment. Along with the community and even with children, he built bridges. He built clean water distribution centers. He built watershed pathways for the health and safety of communities, of primarily his community and communities in several Cameroonian rural regions. He even invented a hand washing station for people to wash their hands and reduce the spread of the coronavirus. His work, effort, and philosophy have made him famous. Right now, I would like you to take a moment to meet Farmer Tonto.
Every day, I'll sing for you every day, every day, every day, every day and every time, every day, I'll sing for you every day, every day, every day, every day and every time. But I believed if you don't have what you want, you better use what you have. When I was young, my friend called me farmer. To them, it was an insult. But I embraced the nickname, and I even wrote it on my shirt. I was so proud to become a farmer, to understand the relationship between human beings and the earth. I remember when I was a student, so I drank dirty water, and I was so sick. I thought I was going to die, and this traumatized me for about 7 years. So I decided to study water resources so that future generations should not contract same illness like I did. People should have clean water, and children should not die of waterborne diseases. Save Your Future Association is a grassroots non-profit organization working to help rural communities and improving lives across villages in the northwest region of Cameroon. Every day, I'll sing. My advice to young people is to let them know that it doesn't matter where you come from, you are never too small or insignificant to contribute to the long-term sustainability of our planet. Just by doing very simple things to the best of your ability, you are improving our world. Every day, every day, every day, and every time. Every day, every day, every day. Water is life. Every day, every day, and every time. That's why every day, every day, every day, I'll sing for you every day, every day, every day. Mother Africa, every day and every time. That's why. Mother Africa, every day, every day, every day, every day, and every time. Man.
Excellent, Farmer Tonto. The second case to talk about is early inspiration that has been created to support disadvantaged and underprivileged South African children. Early inspiration is an early childhood developmental and stimulation program in South Africa that serves children, adults, and parents. It is an intervention program that enrolls children from birth. According to research conducted in South Africa, 35% of children drop out of school before they enter grade 5. Therefore, early inspiration is instituted to remedy this situation. The understanding is that children have potentials, but those potentials should be stimulated, activated, developed from their early age to avoid lifelong failure. In early inspiration, children from birth are engaged in early literacy, numeracy, playing activities, and critical thinking, which indwell them with a sustainable lifelong foundation. As a result, they will not drop out of school because they have the necessary skills to keep up. Early inspiration found its philosophy in the assertion of Nelson Mandela that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. This is according to Nelson Mandela. If people are educated, they are equipped, or they will be equipped to change the world. Also, another philosophy is of the early inspiration organization is this one. Each, each, each child is born with an enormous potential and possibilities. It is our duty to help these children grow and flourish. And by so doing, we ignite the power that is within them. This is according to the early inspiration website. So what this means is that it is the society's responsibility. It is our responsibility to arm children with that weapon for their self-defense. According to research, the early years of a child's life are years of rapid development and change. Therefore, institutions should take advantage of those years to fill children with basic skills, knowledge, and sound principles. Early inspiration has its objectives. Number one, to educate and equip parents and caregivers. Number two, to stimulate children's cognitive development. Number three, to inspire children's scholarly motivation from birth. Also, to create a flourishing South African nation. And finally, to prevent children from dropping out of school. Early inspiration catches two birds with one stone. They do not just focus on the children, but also on the parents. They trained parents to understand children's cognitive, social, and emotional development. So, what is taught in the school will be reinforced at home and in the community. This way, children will be surrounded with the resources for their success. This increases their chance to greater achievement. Early reports have shown some great prospects for the early inspiration program. So they have been successful somewhat and somehow, as it is displayed on the screen. Children are excited. They are happy. They are learning, reading, writing, and working with numbers. There is an increase in children enlightenment. They are happy, excited. They are celebrating their success. There is a decrease of at risk children. There is growth in literacy and numeracy among the children who take part in the early inspiration program. Also, children are growing healthier because the early inspiration program supplies provide supplemental financial help for them so that they can have the right nutrition, so they can go strong, and they can have the strength to work hard, to study, and to sustain themselves. So with early inspiration, there is an increase in literacy and numeracy. The rate of at-risk children is decreasing. There is light on kids' eyes. Positive social and emotional feelings are surging. Apparently, kids are growing stronger and healthier. Early inspiration is meeting its benchmark. The last and third case that we have to summarize and analyze is Good Work Foundation. Good Work Foundation is the boldest and most ambitious of the three. Good Work Foundation is based in rural South Africa. Its goal is to extend to the continent of Africa and globally into the world. Good Work Foundation wants its students to be involved in the fourth industrial revolution. As Good Work Foundation defines itself, Good Work Foundation is a digital South African development and initiative who believes that African people are participants of the fourth industrial revolution. It means that its attendees, its participants, its students, its learners will not simply be learning literacy and mathematics, practicing through digital technology and devices, but they will also be designing advanced technology components, products, and devices. These are the dreams of the founder, Kate Groch. The philosophy of the founder, Kate Groch, is that everyone should be able to attain their full potential. This is according to Kate Groch. Kate Groch believed that every person, every individual, every human being should be given the opportunity to reach their full potential. Also, she believes that it should never matter where a child is born. All children deserve access to a good education. She believes that we can use digital technology to leapfrog existing structures, thus changing the lives of an entire generation of young people in Africa. So the belief is that whether you are from New York or the most remote part of the world, you should be able to develop your full potential, regardless of where you are coming from. You should have that opportunity to build on your full potential. Good Work Foundation has its objectives. Number one, to revolutionize education in South Africa. They want to radically change how people teach and learn in South Africa. Secondly, to use education as a tool for a future of abundance, which means education will provide that joy, that happiness, that sense of success, that give you plenty of joy. That is in the way that that is the purpose of education, so that people can learn, and then with the learning they can enjoy life, and they can enjoy it abundantly. They believe that they can open minds to new possibilities, and also they would like to cultivate leaders to give back to the region. So, based on their objectives, Good Work Foundation would like to transform the actual approaches and principles of education. The dream is to create education standards that will fill people and fill them that abundantly. The methods will create innovative leaders and new ways and perception on learning. In the most recent years, Good Work Foundation has been very active and productive in rural villages in South Africa. They are experiencing phenomenal success. They have been developing literacy, digital literacy for children and adults in many rural regions of South Africa. So far, they have built 6 centers that are accessible to rural communities. Children who have not had the opportunity to make it to school because they live too far away from urban cities right now are getting that opportunity to education, because the centers are within walking distance. The centers are accessible to them, so those children are able now to acquire, to get an education. And also, Good Work Foundation would like to cultivate young leaders to leapfrog community hope to through digital technology, teaching student through digital technology. Student will develop, student will build confidence, self-confidence, and then student will experience an advancement. An advancement will jump, to really use the term leapfrog. Student will make a big jump in knowledge and education, which will give them a hope that they have not had. So far, as we said, they have erected 6 centers that are accessible to villagers. 7,000 children visit the centers daily. Adults, parents, and children are leapfrogging in learning math and English through iPads and tablets. There is hope. Rural people who had no access to education because of the far away distance to urban cities are thriving in learning now. There is celebration in those rural sections of South Africa. Right now, I would like you to take a moment to meet Good Work Foundation.
What do you see? Where some see nothing, we saw a blank canvas to create a new world. Where the only thing our children hunger for is knowledge.
We saw that there's a need in the rural community. People are not exposed to technology. That's a need.
In a place called Hazy View, the Good Work Foundation was born, and with it, hope. Hope for the region, hope for its people, hope for a new Africa. We opened our first campus to give rural communities access to a new kind of education. And with this, we open minds to new possibilities. Now, with 5 campuses, 7,000 children access wonder-filled digital education every day, and hundreds of young adults are being empowered to thrive in the world of tomorrow.
I want to be financially independent, to build like a legacy for my family, and make sure that when I leave, I have something that I left them behind.
In all of the slides that you have. Here, we have a curriculum designed to create citizens of the future, where people learn to become something more. We've set out to reimagine education, with open learning for young developing students and a bridging academy for adult learners looking to enter the working world. We looked at the region's needs and developed courses in hospitality, conservation, and IT.
There is more to GWF than just a computer. They teach us how to present ourselves, how to be confident in ourselves, and how to shape our future.
But knowledge and education mean nothing without the means to use it.
Opportunities are slim. Before I came to GWF, I was totally lost. Many people, they are not employed. After a school matric, they're sitting at home and then they do nothing. After that, they have no future.
So we created a place for our students to put their skills to work. And the Good Work Foundation grew. With its own sustainable social enterprise that employs alumni from the foundation, increasing both the employment rate and revenue stream for the area.
Oh, okay, all right. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Where profits created opportunities for even more young people to grow their curiosity. We don't just nurture minds, we cultivate leaders. Leaders who give back to the region that help them grow. Here in Hazy View, we're building a vision for a new Africa, where good work creates great people.
Outstanding. Good job. Way to go. Good Work Foundation. Summing it all up, all three cases want to bring a level of amelioration and stability into the lives of people. They are all based on education and people involvement. Each one of them is searching for a wonder. Nevertheless, there is some overlapping between early inspiration and Good Work Foundation. The underlying ground of both of them is education, but with a different endpoint. Early inspiration wants to keep children in school. However, Good Work Foundation wants a new world order along with technology as the only medium for learning. And on the other hand, there is Save Your Future Association, who activates local resources to maintain good life among people. Thanks.
Every day.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sedar Pougaza, and I'm going to present a project to you. Yes. As you can see on my screen, this is a project, a group project. It's about curriculum. And in this group, we are 3. And now I'm going to present my part, Sedar Pougaza, my part. And actually, we take as a topic for our project, Leapfrogging Dreams. We want to talk about dream. So again, the project actually is a curriculum project, as I say to you, and is a good presentation on a Brookings Institute global catalog of educational innovations. So I'm going to talk about 3 dreams to you for this project. And I select 3 organizations. Actually, for my part, I have 3 organizations, and I'm going to talk about these organizations to you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background of these organizations, what they are doing, and where they are, and what are some of the visions, so again, some of the dreams, and how actually they are seeing their dreams um, comes true, right? So I have 3 organizations. First one is Educate, and the second one is African Revival, and the third one is Publix. And so I'm going to start with the first one, which is Educate. And actually, Educate is about preparing youth in Africa with skills to succeed in today's economy. And it was found in 2002 by Eric Glustrom. He was an American high school student. And we went to actually Uganda, especially in West Uganda, to visit a refugee camp in Zapur, the area of Uganda. And he made a range of contribution at this time when Eric was visiting actually Uganda, especially the refugee camp. And what he did, basically, he distributed some medicines against malaria, and he made some documentary, and also he helps one of the young refugees after the name of Benson with a scholarship to go to school. And Benson believed actually with the education he is going to receive with that scholarship, it will change his life, and it will help him also to solve some of the problems in his community, especially in West Uganda. And after that, Eric came back to the United States. He was so energized, and then by the opportunity to make a difference in the young people lives in Uganda, and also he share his history to other to help more youth like him. So again, Eric's effort had some impact, and then he start to recruit some people with him, and the person he recruited first was Boris Bilayev. And Boris Bilayev, he was actually a junior in his junior year at Anvers College. And Boris also was a refugee. He was a refugee himself. And he believed also in giving others opportunity to to live and also have some access to something. So, and Boris also come to the United States as a refugee. So together, Boris and Eric, they traveled to Uganda. They traveled to Uganda to visit Benson at school. Benson, the young refugee that received actually scholarship from Eric. So they went to visit him. But when they went there, they were so shocked. They were so shocked to meet student after student. They were actually struggling to stay in the school because they could not even actually pay the school fees. So, and also they were dealing with some of like a disease, and were also, you know, in the needs of food and also so many problems. So again, Boris and Eric, they saw a huge opportunity here to transform actually a classroom into a training grounds for students to learn to help themselves. And what they did, they decided to teach students some of the leadership skills and the techniques to start small business and also to be actually uh, the one to pay for their own school fee. But also they want to actually teach them some of the skills so that they can have this possibility to succeed after graduation. After graduation, and then Boris and Eric hire a third person after the name of Angelica, Tony, who actually was a youth, was saved by a youth organization in New York City, and he graduated from a college in writing, and also she traveled, and then she moved finally to Uganda, and the first actually educated was launched, and experience model actually the first model that came out was also launched in 2009. So it's based actually in East Africa, precisely in Uganda, and the Uganda actually educate was launched in 2009, and after that also it was launched in 2016 in Rwanda. Rwanda, and followed by Kenya. Was also launched in Kenya in 2018. So Educate actually works in three areas of actually Eastern Africa, especially in Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya, and with the purpose of preparing youth in Africa with the skills to succeed in today economy. So the dream of educated is to develop young leaders and entrepreneurs in Africa with the vision to have some impact okay, on millions of youth across Africa every year. So we have some statistic here to actually tell us more about the dreams that Educate has here is that Africa will be 40% of the world by the, the 21 actually thousand, and also his population is expected to grow from 1.2 billion to 4 billion, and African continent actually could have more of young people, young people than even the United States. And as you see, as many or 90, many other 90% of African youth, they are projected to work also in the informal sector with the populations, many of them, they are projected to work in informal and sector. And also you see there is a dramatic actually rate of youth unemployment in Africa, and jobs actually are rare, very rare in Africa. So you see the educational system also um, has some challenges to face the young actually people needs, and the current curricula in Africa mostly, and the teaching method actually don't prepare consistently a student for what is going to come after the graduate. So educate here consider all of these challenges as an opportunity. That's why we say that they are dreamers here. Eric and his colleagues, they are dreamers because they see that challenges as an opportunity here. And dreamers and effective leaders usually see challenges as an opportunity. They don't only see problems, but also they see solutions. And this is a case of educate that want to prepare youth in Africa with the skills to succeed in today's economy. So that is actually the founders picture of Eric, Boris, Angelica, and with the young people is their help. And also, what are some of the innovative, we can say, practice of educated, right? So educate as some innovative actually practice, and it consists actually in equipping youth with the skill to disrupt the systemic actually problem of youth unemployment by transforming post-secondary education and also the transition to employment. So here we see that educate creates new skills based educational models that change what young people, learn and how they learn it by empowering them with the skill to drive measurable change. So the educate actually rental model teaches actually some of the soft skill mostly demanded both by employers and the student themselves. And some of this soft skills are teamwork, public speaking, networking, critical thinking, self-confidence, and creativity. In addition to that, the educate actually experiential model also teach some of the hard skill of a business, such as planning, budgeting, savings, and market research. Just to name this, and basically the hard skill is about teaching entrepreneurship to young people, right? So yes, we have some result from what Educate is doing, and also to see that the dream of Educated actually is coming true, and also Educated actually is investing deeply in some periodic rigorous external evaluation to see how his dreams are coming true. So the result of evaluation actually is telling us that 20%, actually we have a 25% increase in university enrollment for women. And we have also like a 21% less likelihood of having child, because usually in this area as young girls, young women usually is we have a child at early age, and it will prevent them to continue the education. So we see that, and we see also 18% decrease in partner violence for women here, so they get to actually educate them in some of how they can have self-control, and also and among the other actually benefits, we see that educate leads to improve soft skill, increase secondary actually school completion rates, and also more youth selecting actually some of the business major, and also we see some delay in fertility that can help them, especially the girls to continue the study, and also reduction in risky behavior, and again a decline in intimate partner violence, right? So if you we see that also in this case. Yes, so as you see, we continue to have some success history with educate to tell that actually educate dreams are coming true, and some of the successful history, as I said to you, we have the Benson Mugabe, former educates, and is a scholar and actually founder of Musabe Foundation that brings information and communication technology skill to youth in a rural actually Uganda. Benson was a former educate actually. He was a student, one of the students in the program, and he finally graduated, and he became a founder, and he is actually teaching youth in a rural, actually Uganda, about uh, information and the communication technology skills, and he's even a programmer, so he's teaching them also computer skills. And also you see like some of the Rwandan students that begin to build confidence and resilience through business ownerships and through business ownership. Actually, one example of Foster, who is actually a secondary student in Rwanda, who's saying the best here, according to Foster, the best skill we get is a self-confidence. Now, even if our project fails, we can try again. So, actually, educate is building some type of resilience and confidence through the business ownership actually model is bringing, and also some of the key aspect of educate model like student business clubs were incorporated into Rwanda national curriculum, actually as a part of entrepreneurship curriculum and reform. And today this curriculum has been rolled out nationally, and helping to prepare nearly 210,000 youth each year with a skill they need to succeed in today's economy. And even with the COVID, we see that educate continue to adjust, and continue to be inspired and encouraged by the students that educate is actually teaching skill, let's say soft and hard skills, and so to overcome actually some of the difficult challenges, and to become leaders, entrepreneur, mentors, and a role model in their own community. So again, the second one, as I said to you, organization actually is called African Revival, or African Revival start in 2000, and it became a registered charity in 2005. He works in Zambia, assisting, school, and also actually by also improving the learning environment and the quality of education. He works also in Uganda with actually over 70 schools, helping to create a thriving learning environment for children in the northern Uganda, and also in South Sudan. With a collaboration with a partner to facilitate the construction of a school facilitated in actually Ye, Iba, and Maridi. And the founder, his name is Tony Allen. Tony Allen is actually, you see him here. Tony Allen and Dream always was in Africa where every child has equal access to education. Tony Allen actually dreams with African revival is that we have to have an Africa where every child has equal access to education. And the start is work in Malawi, working in health, education, and also clean water. He was inspired by his father and even with his friend's father. So, so what are some of the innovative practice of a Tony's dream African revival? Is to work actually with a primary and a nursery school in Uganda, Zambia, and South Sudan. Since 2005, we start doing that. Also, some of the poorest actually countries around the world. So not only in Africa, but around the world, and to allow actually every child to fulfill their potential. So Tony believes in every child potential, and we can actually help them to fulfill their potential, and also by building infrastructure and implementing education and livelihoods projects, right? And also by empowering actually work community students, people, so teacher, parent to transform even the government run and the parents run school into thriving learning environment that builds brighter and better futures. And actually, what actually makes African revival so different is that his staff are based in the rural actually communities where they work, and they believe in a proximity. They say being actually close to the partners, we allow them to be more efficient with the money they receive from donors, and also to be more accountable to the communities they serve. So you see here, AR or African Revival has some type of a unique approach by actually being very close to people that serve the proximity, by actually working directly, like being in the rural actually community, to be close to people. So we have some of the impact of the dream revival, African revival, like in Uganda with training and data collection. So we see like in the year one, we have over 5,000 girls who participate in a training workshop at the 23 school. And also we have actually one of the head teacher called Margaret. Margaret at Purongo, PS school. PS says that the school has a benefits from pad provision, training, latrines, and construction and teacher workshop this year. And construction of the 3 blocks of latrines at Purongo PS primary school, and also it helps. The construction helps to serve actually 853 pupils and that had no functioning latrines before that. So it's the construction of 3 blocks of a latrine at the Purongo PS primary school actually is helping to serve 853 people. If you see in the summer, part of provision here, like 4,000 almost 4,000 girls receive some menstrual resources, and they were trained on how to use them. And also the feedback actually is that the teacher are saying that some of the girls that were missing school every month are now attending and performing much better than they were previously. Why? Because there are some taboo in Uganda mostly about girl when they have their menstruate. Sometimes they will stay home, and sometimes they don't wanna even come to school, and they take it. Sometimes they think that is a disease, so they have some training and they receive some even a pad to use. And actually, when they are in this period, it doesn't prevent them from coming to school and wherever, because sometimes maybe it will happen in the school, and the girl maybe we feel bad that we not come to school again, but with the project, and it helps more than 5,000 of girls to receive menstrual resources, so it can help them to continue to attend school. And some of the impact in Uganda, also we have the community meeting actually here, also, and school partnerships. We have a total of 69 teachers at all 23 schools that were trained on a menstrual health management related to some of the issues, and to ensure girls that are supported at the school through the academic year. So teacher also they receive some like a training, 69 teachers to also help those girls. And in Zambia also, impact in Zambia with construction of latrines for boys and a girl, 4 stints for boys with urinal, and 4 stints with a washroom for girls in Zambia, and a training pad and a provision also we see in Zambia. And also in Zambia, we have some construction of schools that continue even with the outbreak of COVID-19. We have some latrines that built in some area, and also the community continue to help with digging some pits and for latrine, also helping actually the organization African Revival in the work that dream and training and pad provisions. Training also already starts this year, and they have some good results so far. And with the monitoring, we see here African Revival is doing some monitoring and has some feedback to that collected at the end of every year, and actually telling that the girls in Zambia, they used not to have access to sanitary material. Now they are supported by this project, and actually they have some sanitary materials here, and also teachers have confirmed that attendance amongst girls is up, and they don't even stay home like before. And then actually African Revival continues to monitor this. And we have also in Sudan some impacts of the Dream African Revival with the construction of a school classroom, with the adult secondary school classroom construction, and the construction of a 4 classroom block at the adult secondary school to accommodate the increasing enrollment of secondary level students. So there is a need of actually classroom, and African Revival is actually helping to satisfy this needs. So yeah, has some African Revival has some future plans for the Dream. Some future plans is to continue, well, as I say, some trainings, and also training for teachers, and also providing girls with resources to help reduce actually absenteeism of girls, and also to help a girl to pass the exam. Good. So the third one to finish actually the papers actually projects. The Dream is about changing lives, and is actually a non-profit organization, and they start in 2004, and it was launched actually officially in 2005, and since then it started to actually grow. And to see its dream changing lives become true. And if you see with actually the statistic we have here, every year there is something, there is some actually positive actions going on here. And even you see like from 2005 even to 2013 we have some increasing here what Pebble Projects is doing here. And also continue, and today you see in 2019, and today it continues, and in 2019 we have actually 1,200 children that were fed per day, and 10 baby box were handed out, and we have some of like a clinic visit around 7,000, and also some like 185,000 of a meal meals distributed for 2019, and also funding income reach over 21 million of rounds, which is actually equivalence of 1 million $267,000 US, and also 229 grade learner receives school pack. So what are the dreams of Pebbles projects? The dreams first is to have a world of opportunities for empowering community, and also to develop young minds. In addition to that, to change a child's future, and also to grow beyond actually poverty, beyond the poverty, and also to nurture happy, balanced children, and to enable a child, and also to enrich a community. And one of the dream is that the children need the care, and caring is what actually Pibas project is doing. And this is located in some area actually in South Africa. If you can see some of the area where actually Pibas project is working, like Stellenbosch, Wellington, and Citrus, Dow, Emel, and Ard. Right? So we have some of we have the team, we have the board of a trustee, that is a board of trustee here in 2019, and employees. So you see, they have a big team here, so big team here. And then the innovative practice of papers here can be summarized around like five main pillars or five main programs. First is education. Education to ensure that each child, regardless of his or her ability or disability, has the opportunity to reach the full academic potential in order to become a contributing member of a society. And again, second pillar here is health. Health is to actually addresses the physical health needs of the children in this area of South Africa and the community in which actually they live. And actually the third pillar here is nutrition. Nutrition is about ensuring that the children are well fed and receive some balanced nutrition meals in order for them to function at their best, And then we have the fourth pillar, again, fourth program, which is about community. Community, because we live in community, and actually Pebbles want to help build like clean, well-functioning environments, and that we maximize the stimulation of the children, and also some of the sustainability of the community in which they live, and to bring always community together, to have some actually good communities that we help with the growth of children. And fifth one of the main pillars, and the fifth one is a protections to create some safe environment in which children can grow by providing information, skill development, and support for them and also their family. Yeah, so we have some real stories to say that from a dreams and to reality, this is where actually Pebbles is, right? And we have some actually real story here. Pebbles actually saying that they are so proud of Elton, who started in the after school club. Pebbles has in a place program in 2007, and also developed into independent, confident, individual who also give of his time as a after school club sport volunteer here in this program. So, and he continues actually Elton progress and Elton with what he's doing. He continues to be a shining example to his peers here. And we have so many examples going on. So, yes, so if you see the dreams actually continue with a single mom who joined also purpose, and actually she got to have also jobs after attending some of the program learning, and also we have the third one who actually serving as a after school teacher after getting some training, and also to help actually child to grow mentally, physically, and also intellectually, and have a good community. So thank you very much.